Hey guys, so today I want to just talk to you about where I think the market ended up in 2023 from my experience and where I think it's heading in 2024. 2023 came with a year of a lot of uneasiness, so meaning unsettledness, not knowing where the market was going to go based on the interest rates, the lending rates, the inflated market, the inflated pricing of homes and properties in, well, everywhere, but particularly in Ontario. After the pandemic, a lot of sellers we found were still expecting to get that pandemic money, that pandemic price tag, but unfortunately, that just was not the case, unfortunately for them. Which I genuinely mean that because as a seller, I sold and I didn't get as much money as I had hoped for. I was just a little bit late to hit that sweet spot back in the first quarter of 2023. Moving forward, the market we're seeing kind of level out, and this is just strictly from an investor standpoint. Sarah and I run numbers on, I would say at least 10 to 20 properties a week. We're supposed to be taking it easy until our baby comes, but we've both found that quite difficult because there is some good deals coming up. We've been finding quite a few in the last 60 days, and we're hoping in the new year it's going to continue in that trend. So people, just to summarize 2023 for us is, you have the inflated pricing or the inflated the retail value of the home. You have some agents still trying to get that like bidding war going on, so you'll see homes listed very, very low. We go and inquire about it. It's like, we're accepting offers. So as soon as I hear that as an investor, I don't get into accepting offers. I don't want to do it. I'm not playing that game like I talked about this week in one of my reels. It's never good to overpay for a property. Whenever I buy anything, keep in mind I've been buying and selling stuff my entire life. Properties just more so in the last 5 or 6 years, but anything, I always make sure that on the entry to the deal is where I make some money, meaning I never pay retail. If the house is worth 500,000 and they list it for 500,000, there's a very, very small chance that I'll even put an offer in close to 500,000. The deals I like and the deals that we're seeing more of now winding down 2023 is the asking prices of the homes are starting to come down. And what's another KPI or key performance indicator that I watch is days on market. So we're seeing an uptick in how long properties are sitting on the market. That hot market that was around during the pandemic where things were just flying and there wasn't enough supply for the demand has now shifted. Now there's more supply than the demand because now the demand's back down due to inflation, whatever you want to call it. Mostly probably buyers are scared, I would think. They don't know what those interest rates are going to do in the first quarter of 2024. They watch the news. There's a bit of fear there. A lot of people, I was going to say some, but I think a lot of people are over leveraged, meaning their house, they've already taken too much equity out of their homes in the last few years, and now they're trying to either sell the home and recap some of the money, but they're not getting the same dollar amount for their home that it was appraised at, in say 2021 in the height of the big boom there. So for us to summarize 2023, it's been a very good year. We've built a multi-living home, which I'm in right now, on the golf course. It was amazing. We had a Burner Contracting and Owen Sound build it for us. We designed it. He drew it. We just basically told him what we wanted. It took longer than we had hoped, but it was a good year, and we did make some money going into the deal, and we're not one of the people that are over leveraged, fortunately. Another great deal for us that came in was we picked up a rooming house. That property was definitely undervalued just based on the property alone, and then we were able to take the property, make it a profitable property, even with private money involved. And like I said, the private money for us is anywhere from 9-10% up to 15%. So the margins on that house are quite high, just because the demand is here, and what we did for the house for as far as renovations and making it so that every square foot inside that home is used, or inside that property essentially, is used to generate some sort of cash flow. So fortunately for us, that was two great wins. Coming into 2024, what we see happening is, or what I see happening anyways, and after talking to some friends of mine, both in the industry, who have been in the industry or are currently in the industry, they're right in the game, is we've seen a lot of people who, during the pandemic, again, they bought secondary houses, or they bought rental properties, or they bought short-term rental properties, or because no one could do anything, we've seen a few people go together and they've bought these properties for them and their family to go to. The problem with that is now that everybody's back to work and the demand to go to those short-term rental properties is slightly lower. As much as we don't want to say it is, I really think it is. And with the new enforcement of a lot of municipalities bringing in the enforcement of short-term rentals and bylaws allowing how many days you can rent and certain stipulations and licensing for the short-term rentals like VRBO or Airbnb, we've seen them want to try to dump those properties. I've personally been approached by a few people in the last 30 to 45 days, seeing if I wanted to buy their secondary home or their vacation property. Although I would like to buy it, unfortunately, I myself don't really want to get too far into that short-term rental game just because right now, because I feel like that market has really slowed down. Well, not just I feel, data shows that that market, that short-term rental market has slowed down its growth curve, meaning back in the middle of the pandemic and pre-pandemic, just coming into it, the growth curve of Airbnb rentals was quite high, and we're seeing that start to slow down now as international travel opens back up, or has been opened back up. So what that means for real estate investing for us is we're seeing an influx of properties hit the property, or we're seeing an influx of properties hit the market that were secondary homes. A lot of these properties, they're anywhere between 300 and 650,000. Keep in mind, people had to use equity out of their homes to buy them, and now they want to off them so they can replace the equity in the homes. Sometimes, too, the one person I talked to 2 weeks ago, they wanted to sell their property so they could get their liquid cash back and put it back into their home because their mortgage rate's about to renew in the second quarter of 2024. They wanted to know if we were interested in buying it. Although I would like the property, it just didn't suit what our portfolio is looking for at this time. So there is a lot of opportunity in the market right now if you are looking to get into investing. And the play that Sarah and I are doing for 2024, and I've voiced this loud and clear, we both have, is we're house flipping. So if you have a house that's old, I don't want to use the word dilapidated, but old and needs some work, and you don't want to have to deal with it, we can come in, we have private money, it will be a fast, easy, quick close deal for you. All we ask is that you disclose to us what you want. And I've talked about this before. Some people, believe it or not, sell real estate, and it's not just money they want. There could be, they just want that emotional disconnect gone. We had a property fall on our plate last week like that. There could be that they need liquid cash to get out of debt, or they've got themselves over leveraged. They could be because they need the money for something else, or they could just be trying to liquidate everything and they just want to get into retirement. So those are some things that we've seen happen recently. If you do have one of those properties, or you're looking to move into a deal of some sort, please hit us up. Myself, we're really focusing on flipping, and we're really focusing on systemizing those flips. I will say that I still always have a soft spot for commercial deals. So if you have a commercial building, you're willing to hold a partial mortgage, we probably have or can get the rest of the money, then maybe we could do a deal on that. So if you have a property you want to get rid of, and it does need some work and some renovating to increase the value, that's number one for us. And number two, for me personally, is if you have a commercial property, maybe some residential on top of it, or storefronts or something, please reach out, message us, myself or Sarah. We'd be happy to talk more about it. And as always, if I can give any advice to you, or how do I get started, or I have some money sitting here and it's only making 3% in my RSP, how can we use that in real estate to make 15%? You talk about it all the time. Just message me, shoot me a private message, and we'll see if we can get you set up. There's lots of money out there right now to be made, so if you're doing it smart and with the right amount of people. So hit us up if you want to make some money in 2024. Look at